Some time ago we brought you a video talking about the 7 lesser-known Godzilla kaijus, but being a franchise that is almost 70 years old, it is normal that a single video is not enough to cover all the little-known giant monsters of this saga. That is why this time we will talk to you about 7 other little-known kaijus from the Godzilla universe. If you remember, at the beginning of 2023 the Shin Japan Heroes Universe campaign was launched, which planned to show us a shared universe of Shin Godzilla, Ultraman, Evangelion and Kamen Rider. This proposal turned out to be a great success in Japan and several products from these franchises were launched. However, a year earlier, Godzilla and Evangelion had already collaborated together. It all started as an advertising campaign for a Japanese arcade machine. This had a kaiju theme and a short, but very exciting trailer where we saw Shin Godzilla and EVA 01 facing King Ghidorah. According to the little information, this version of Ghidorah is an EVA unit that got out of control and must be stopped. At one point, Shin Godzilla fires his atomic breath at EVA 01 and it manages to absorb its energy. As a result, EVA-01G is born, a strange hybrid with the powers of both characters. In addition to the trailer, Toho revealed a figure inspired by this fusion, which can be purchased through sites such as Amazon and specialized stores. In the last video we talked about the Godzilla comic, a manga series published only in Japan and which has very bizarre stories. Additionally, it features many rare versions of classic kaijus that have not appeared outside of this manga. Ghidorah is one of those characters. In 2017, Ghidorah appeared on Earth as part of an attempted alien invasion. He arrived in Australia and faced an American military force. In his first encounter with Godzilla, Ghidorah emerged victorious. As the two fought, a nuclear attack was launched at the two monsters in an attempt to kill them both, but the explosion was much smaller than expected. When the dust cleared, Ghidorah had survived, but Godzilla lay motionless in the water-filled explosion crater. However, Godzilla suddenly stood up, as the nuclear explosion had given him a huge energy boost. He opened Ghidorah's armor and then fired his atomic breath at Ghidorah's exposed body, killing the space monster instantly. Ghidorah's body is extremely hot and is capable of melting the asphalt roads around him. However, it doesn't seem to be able to affect Godzilla. He can shoot an energy beam and has the ability to fly. Bagan was the final boss of the Super Godzilla video game that came out in 1993. He is 150 meters tall, weighs more than 280,000 tons and belongs to the Super Kaiju category within the game. While Bagan has never appeared in a feature film, he is particularly known for his numerous planned, but ultimately scrapped, film roles. Bagan's first proposed appearance was The Resurrection of Godzilla, a film proposed by Tomoyuki Tanaka in 1980, but the project fell through. Sometime later it was planned to include this character in the film Mothra vs. Bagan, but this also failed to materialize. Bagan was potentially considered for another film where he would face Godzilla, but this project ended up becoming Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. Finally, the Super Kaiju got his chance in the 1993 video game Super Godzilla. This version was an ancient kaiju from China who was dragged into the present by aliens to conquer the world. These invaders enhanced Bagan with the cells of Godzilla and King Ghidorah, so he went on to become a Super Kaiju. To defeat him, Godzilla had to absorb some energy capsules to transform into Super Godzilla. In that fame, the King of Monsters gained enough power to defeat Bagan. His last appearance took place in the web series, Godzilla, in 2019. In the first place we talk about Shin Japan Heroes Universe. In this I can show you the culmination of this entire advertising campaign. The Shin Robo is a strange fusion between Shin Godzilla, Ultraman, Kamen Rider and EVA 01. This debuted in a Bandai promotional video that was written and directed by Hiroshi Butsuda. The plot of the video is somewhat simple. A city is being attacked by a kaiju and a fleet of drones. Godzilla, Ultraman, EVA 01 and a Kamen Rider face the attack. At one point, the king of the monsters roars and the other heroes proceed to combine with him to create the Shin Universe Robo. This fused hero was strong enough to destroy the enemy kaiju. Although it is unlikely that we will see this character in any movie or series, at least we will always have his action figure to remember this peculiar crossover. When Dark Horse acquired the rights to Godzilla, the publisher wasted no time in publishing a new series of kaiju comics. In Godzilla number 16 we met the Stranger, a monster with a dragon-like appearance with 4 arms. After sleeping for a while beneath the Earth's crust, Godzilla woke up in the age of the dinosaurs. After investigating, he encountered a horrible creature known as the Stranger. After attacking a Triceratops, the kaiju noticed Godzilla's presence and the two began fighting. While they were fighting, they did not notice that an asteroid was approaching Earth. The Stranger attempted to escape, but Godzilla ripped off his tail and he hid underground where he collapsed due to exhaustion. When he woke up, the king of the monsters was back in his era and believed that it was all a dream, but he changed his mind when he noticed that he still had the Stranger's tail. Since then, this kaiju has not been seen again. In this position we have a kaiju from the Godzilla King of the Monsters manga. Sea Baragon is an aquatic version of the original kaiju. This bears a strong resemblance to the Baragon of the Showa era, except that it has a large horn extending from the center of its forehead and slanted tusks similar to those of a walrus. Sea Baragon lacks the large, drooping crescent-shaped ears of its terrestrial counterpart, and also has a slightly rounder face. This kaiju was manufactured by the Mad Dr. Oniyama using DNA extracted from the Baragon's body tissue. The monster resided in the sea and after attacking a group of humans, he is confronted by Godzilla and during the fight, he demonstrates that he is capable of rising to the surface. The two kaiju exchanged blows until Sea Baragon managed to impale Gojira's body with his horn. Godzilla, enraged by this attack, grabbed his rival's horn and snapped it in half. Without his horn, Sea Baragon attempted to escape, but was eliminated by the King of Monsters' atomic breath. We end this installment with a little-known version of Godzilla, but which served as inspiration to create one of his most popular rivals. Super Godzilla was created by Toho in 1993 for the video game of the same name. This is a powered version of the King of the Monsters that emerges to defeat Mecha King Ghidorah and Bagan, who we told you about in the third place. This kaiju arises when Godzilla powers up after consuming 3S energy capsules that are items in the game. As Super Godzilla, his skin tone changes to a greenish-gray, in addition to his opaque dorsals and chest turning neon green. Godzilla's size briefly increases, as well as an increase in strength due to growing muscle mass with 2 massive spikes sprouting from his shoulders. In the Japanese version of the game, Super Godzilla also has a crest or crown that gives him a resemblance to Space Godzilla. In fact, this version of the King of the Monsters served as inspiration to create his space namesake. Among his new abilities is an attack known as Energy Thailand, where he focuses his energy on his tail and moves it quickly to create an energy blade. His atomic breath becomes the Nova Breath, a powered version of his signature attack, but orange in color. Lastly, he can project energy from his abdomen, which causes a powerful explosion. Since his debut in 1993, Super Godzilla has not appeared in any official product, probably due to his great resemblance to Space Godzilla. For now, that's all for this video. If you know of another kaiju that you think we should include in this video saga, let us know in the comments box. If you liked this video and want to see more strange versions of Godzilla, I recommend clicking on the card that is appearing right now. Without further ado, for the moment, we are the Awakens, and we will see each other in the next video. Until next time.